All right, so we have our admin middleware set up. We have a route to fetch all the users, but you have to be an admin to be able to access that route. So let's go to our front end now, and let's start on this workflow. So on in the constants here, user constants, I'm gonna copy this, and down here we want user list. So I'm gonna change all of these registers to list, and we'll save that. And then let's go to the reducer, so user reducer. And from here, we're gonna create a user list reducer. So I'm gonna go down here, copy this, last one, paste that in, and this is gonna be user list reducer. And the state is just gonna be, we're gonna set users in here, which will be an empty array. And then we want user, grab these, so it'll be user list request, success, and fail. So for request, it'll just be loading true. For return, let's see, so for return we want, or not return, but for success return, we want users to be the payload, because we're going to make the request and then fill that. We don't need success, so we'll just get rid of that. And then fail will stay the same. Pretty much all fails are the same, just loading false and then passing the error as the payload. Now we need to bring these in. Okay, user list request, user list success. Where's fail? That didn't come in. User list fail. Okay, so that's our reducer. Now let's go to our actions. So we want user actions, and I'm going to copy, let's copy this last one here, which is update user profile, and paste that in, and this is going to be called list users, and it's not going to take anything in, so we can clear that. And then we want to make our request. So this will be user list request. We want to get our token. We can get rid of that content type. So we're just getting the token, and then we're going to make axios.get to API/users, and we can get rid of this. And then for dispatch, we want user list success, and pass in the data that we get, which should be all the users. And then here we want user list fail. We want to bring these in. To make sure those came in correctly, which they didn't. All right, so we have list users, so we will be able to dispatch that from within our screen. So let's create that. In screens, we're going to create a new file called user list screen.js. And let's generate a component here. And I'm just going to copy some of the imports from, copy it from register. Let's see, we don't need a form container. Let's grab this. Okay, so we do need link container, which is going to be from React Router Bootstrap. And then from React Bootstrap, we just want a table and a button. So let's get rid of this table and get rid of these. Okay, so we just want table button, we want dispatch and selector, we want message and loader, and then let's bring in the action. So we want to bring in list users from our actions/user actions. So down here in the user list screen, let's create our dispatch. And then we want to get our user list state. Actually, we never added that to the store. So I'm going to bring this in up here from user reducers. Let's bring in user list reducer, and let's add it. I like to keep all the resources together, so I'm going to go under the user update profile and add in user list, and then user list reducer. All right, so we want to bring that in. So let's do const user list, set that to use selector, and we want to pass in here state.user list, and then from user list we want to get loading, error, and users. All right, so that'll get the state that we need. Let's go ahead and add our use effect, because that's where we want to dispatch our action. So in here, let's dispatch list users, and let's pass in our dependency array, and I'm going to pass in dispatch. And now down here in the output, let's make this an empty tag here, and then let's have an h1 and just say users, and we're going to check for loading. So if it's loading, we're going to show our loader. Else, if there's an error, then we're going to show a message with a variant of danger. And I know this can get a little tedious because we've been typing a lot of the same stuff, but hopefully that's really drilling it into your head and you're understanding how this really works, and you can start to create your own stuff. So table, let's say striped, bordered, hover, and responsive. And then I'm also going to add a class name of table-sm. Make it small and compact. So in here we want our t head, so table head, and let's have a table row. We want our table headings. So we're going to have the ID, the name, the email, if they're an admin, and then just the delete, or the buttons. We'll have an edit and a delete. So after that table row, or after that table head I should say, let's put in our table body, and now we're going to want to loop through the users that we got from the user list part of the state. So here let's say users.map, and for each user we're going to have a table row, and we have to pass a key in, and for the key I'll just use the user ID. And then in here let's add our columns. So first is the user ID. Oops, should be underscore. So user ID, let's also put the name, so user name. Then we have the user's email, and if they're an admin, so well actually, you know what, for the email let's actually wrap this in an a tag, so if we need to email them. And you can even add onto this application later on, so you could have an internal message system, you know, just an idea of what you could add. So let's have this go to mail to, or I might add, I do plan on adding more to this after. So mail to user.email, and then here, now if they're an admin I want to show a green check, and if they're not I want to show a red X. So let's say if user.is admin, then we'll show an icon with the class name of FAS and FA-check, and I'm also going to add style, and we want double curly brackets for that. And for style let's say color, and this is the check, so I want this to be green. And let's end that, And then after this parentheses, we'll say else, and we'll open up another set of parentheses. And in here, we'll have our I class FAS, and then this is going to be the X, so we'll use FA times. And then for style, let's set this to color red. Okay, we can close that up. Save that, format it. And then let's see the next one. So we have name, email, admin. So now we just want the buttons. So we want a link to edit. So let's create one more TD. And in this TD, we're going to use a link container. And this is going to go to, and we want it to go to /user and then the user ID. So /user and then user._ID. And inside, actually it's going to go to user and then the user ID and then /edit. And then inside here we'll have a button. And let's give this button a variant of light. And I'm going to give it a class name of btn-sm. And then inside the button, I'm going to have an edit icon. So I class name, and set that to light. No, not light. What am I doing? FAS, and then FA-edit. Now, under the link container, we're going to have the delete button. So this will be a button with a handler. So let's give this a variant of danger because I want it to be red. And I'll give it a class name of btn-sm, and then it's going to have an on-click, and that's going to be an arrow function that calls a delete handler, and we want to pass into that the user. Actually, we can just pass in the user ID. Okay, so that's our button, and then as far as what I want to show for the text, I'm just going to use an icon here as well. So class is going to be FAS and FA-trash. Okay, so we need to add this user list screen. So let's go to app.js and let's bring this in. So user list screen. And let's scroll down here, and we want to, as far as the URL, it's just going to be /userlist. I'm going to put this down at the bottom here. So the URL is going to be /userlist. Actually, let's make it admin user list. And let's see what we got here. Delete handler is not defined, so we just have to define that up here. And that's going to take in the ID. And for now, we'll just do a console log and say delete. Use state is defined but never used, so we can get rid of that. Now, as far as where we want to put this, we're going to need to have an admin drop down in the nav bar. So let's go to our header. So we want to go to components, and let's go to our header. And in order to do this, we're going to have to get the user info, right? We're going to have to get the logged in user info. So we already have it, never mind. And we have it because we're checking for the user to be logged in, but we want to create another menu if they're an admin. So what I'll do is, let's go after where this user info ends, where we have the drop down or we have the login. We're going to go right under that. So still within the nav, and let's open up some curly braces and say if user info and user info dot is admin. So if that's true, then we're going to have a drop down. So I'm actually going to copy this nav drop down, and I'm going to paste that in there. And let's change the title from the user name to just admin. And for the ID here, we'll say admin menu. And then this link here is going to go to user list, which is the screen we just created, and this will just say users. And then we're going to have another link container, so we can get rid of this, and let's copy this link container. And then this one will be for our products, so this will actually go to product list, or actually I made it admin, so it'll be /admin /user list, and then this will be /admin /product list. And let's say products, and then we want the same thing for orders, so this will be /order list, and then this will be orders. Alright, so let's save that, and now if we go back, I'm not logged in as an admin, so I can't see that. So I'm going to log out, and I'm going to log in as admin. And now I can see this admin menu with these drop downs, and I'm going to go to users, and I can see all the users of the site. Now we do have some security issues here, so in the next video we're going to address those.